This thing is so stupid. It is so stupid fast. Before we get started with this video, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's been stopping by, checking out the 8 HP build. Your support means a lot. I know that a lot of you are here specifically for the 8 HP, but hopefully in this video I can potentially get you guys to stay here just by my charisma. It's a lot of fun around here on this channel. It's been a little bit. I've had the swap done for a little while now, and I kind of just want to go for our drive, do some rips and stuff, and we'll just talk about the pros and cons to the gearbox and my thoughts and what I think about it in general. Compared to this car here that has a T56 Magnum in it, and all my Supras and everything also had T56 Magnums. This car came from a 5-speed dog box and went to a TH400, and now we are at the 8 HP. We'll go for a drive, we'll talk about it, and I will give you guys my thoughts and impressions on the swap and how the transmission is. Spoilers, greatest swap I have ever done in my life. Like, I do not get enjoyment from driving the car. I literally enjoy this car so much more now with the swap than I did with any other setup. It feels more safe, it feels more responsive, and it actually feels more violent than it did before. The torque multiplication on this transmission is insane. It's incredible. For all of you that are fresh here, that are brand new to the channel, or, you know, stopping by, subscribe to the channel because of the 8 HP swap, thank you very much. Little overview here. The 240 basically has been the guinea pig car for the channel for a very long time. This is actually the car that really basically started the channel. It is a fully built 2JZ. It's an aluminum rod engine. So I am literally going against the odds for everything. What they've always said was aluminum rods are not good for the street. Aluminum rods are not good for downshifting. Aluminum rods are just not reliable in general. Well, these aluminum rods came out of a 1700 horsepower 2JZ. And it was one of the IDS 240s drag racing car. The car went 7.5 seconds in the quarter at like 190 miles an hour or something like that. And they were used for multiple seasons. I bought them in like 2019. I've had them in the car since 2020. They've been through the dog box, they've been through the TH400, and they've been in the 8 HP. I've even auto-crossed them. I have money shifted the dog box multiple times. These rods are just incredible. So it is aluminum rod, piston, cam. It's, you know, it's a pretty basic build, but I mean, it's a very strong build. So yeah, it's fully built 2JZ, precision 6766. So she's not very big, but she's very responsive. And yeah, I've built this car from the ground up, and it is quite literally my favorite car ever. I've been through so many things, and one of the things that I will have to say is while I've had this car, with my second car, I've had the second car, and I have zero desire of getting rid of this one either. This is kind of just Nissan's version of a Supra, and it hits the bases better than my Mark IV Supras did. But I've been through R35 GTRs. I had an 800 horsepower RS3, like a 2021 Audi RS3, and this thing is identical to those. I've got the electric power steering, so it's an electric motor underneath the dash connected to the steering wheel. There is no pump, no hydraulics. It's literally electric on the steering shaft that is turning the wheels. So the whole car, even though it's a 95, the car feels like a 2020. It drives like a 2020. The power delivery is like a 2020. It's so hard to explain unless you've been in it. Like, if you get in the car and you feel it, it's just incredible. So for those of you that have been on the fence about it, let's just go for a drive. We'll talk about it. And yeah, I 100% recommend it. And for those of you guys that are having hiccups and stuff with the build, just push through it. Once you get it finished and stuff, it is absolutely worth it, and you will forget all the hiccups that you've had with it. As far as I do, the way that I look at it is any hiccups that you have and you overcome them, those are hiccups that you won't have again because you'll know how to fix them. But yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in the car. We'll go for a rip. We'll talk about it. And yeah, hope you guys stick around. If you made it this far, hit the like button, please. It helps a lot with getting the videos out with YouTube. The algorithm kind of doesn't really like me. I don't really ask for likes, but now I'm going to start asking for likes because it's free. Also, make sure you guys subscribe, and yeah, stick around for the videos. Hopefully you guys will stick around for our Lexus and this 300ZX, which is Unfair Lady. She's also a 2JZ. 900 horsepower, stock bottom end, nice big old fat turbo, 6-speed.
All right, we can't forget Lay laptop.
Also, I need to come over here and grab my data logger thing. And we got to insert this.
Get out of my time.
There's my electric power steering for you guys. Nice. And we'll get that cold start. 62 degrees, I guess. There we go. We'll have to do some after start enrichment adjustments, but she's okay. Okay. So we are filming on my Insta360, so that way I can talk directly to you guys. And then we are also filming a somewhat point of view from my phone. And I hope that the volume isn't going to be too bad. I have my stuff situated to where if I'm on the brake and we're not moving, it disengages the clutch, so it's like we're in neutral. And then as soon as I let off the brake, it will slowly engage the clutches like you're releasing a clutch pedal, and so then it takes off very smooth. As we're driving today, if you guys listen to the way the car is, we'll be driving in P1 at first, just kind of warm up the gearbox. And so we'll be driving with both things here. We've got the paddles and then we've got the actual shifter. Right now we're just in auto mode, so the car's going to drive us like we're a grandmother. And when I tell you that it's smooth, it is like butter. Being in P1, everything is just beautiful. The downshifts are smooth and everything. Of course, my gearbox, my TCU, the Turbo Lambic, has had a chance to do some adaptations. So I've done slight adjustments and then I've let the adaptations take over. So everything's very, very smooth. It knows just how much to slip. And then it's a little bit removed from P2. And then P6 is what I play with. What is the other one I play in, which is a manual mode. P2 is a little bit more sporty. Lets you rev out a little bit more, has a little bit tighter bite, so it's a little bit more aggressive. But right now, in P1, this is a very, very drivable, well-mannered gear mode. So you can hear it's driving like it's a brand new car. And we're not doing anything, it's doing it all on its own, and I did not have to do anything. This is directly out of the box. It just did it. We're in 7th gear already. Cruising about 50, 2,000 RPMs. Fully customizable. You can have this set up to wherever you want. If I thought that it was too low, I could go in and adjust it to where P1 it will keep me in 6th gear versus letting me go down to 7th. Or go up to 7th. So we're gonna get on the highway, a little bit more gas. We're in 8th gear now, 55 miles an hour. Up to 60. Just regular driving right now. Very free and smooth. When I get drive-by-wire, you can easily put cruise control in here. And that's another thing. A lot of people are asking me about drive-by-wire. You do not need drive-by-wire to do all this stuff. I've got all the ignition cuts and everything. Drive-by-wire is not needed. Drive-by-wire, if you want the blips on downshifts, where it'll rev up and it'll catch the RPM for you on the downshift, that's where you need drive-by-wire. But on the upshifts and stuff, It doesn't need all of that. The ignition cuts just come, it cuts the ignition, and allows for the gear switch to be extremely efficient and quick. I've also been asked about whether or not you can just run a TPS signal and other stuff to make the TCU work. Yes, you can, but you cannot do the gear ignition cuts with just those signals. The ignition cuts come from your standalone ECU. The turbo lambic is smart on its own, and you can definitely just run it even with a carbureted engine. The way that it shifts is it determines the input and output shaft speeds. There's RPM VR sensors on the input and the output shaft, and it determines torque by those speeds. So now we'll switch up to P2, and you'll hear immediately that now we're revving a little higher, and now it's shifting a little bit faster, and now it's downshifting a little bit more abrupt. It's been a huge point of conversation with a lot of my older viewers, the people that have been watching me all the way back with the 5-speed, the dog box and everything, doing the no-lift shifting with a sensor on my shift knob, allowing me to not hit the clutch to be able to shift. This is literally the same thing. It just doesn't have dog engagement with all the gear selectors and everything. Like, it does all the same stuff. This just makes it free and easy. I'm getting older, and after experiencing some of the cars I've experienced, the efficiency and how nice the power is on some of these newer cars is unbeatable. And I mean, I used to be just like a lot of people where I was a manual supremacist. Automatics were lame. There's no way I'm ever doing an automatic. 10 years ago, I never in my life would have seen myself putting paddle shifters in my 240. But here we are. So it's pretty impressive. I still do have a 6-speed car, of course. You guys watched the beginning of the video. My 300ZX is a T56 Magnum. All my Supras were T56 Magnums. And this car has been through a whole slew of setups. And the reason why I wanted to do this was just how incredibly efficient a DCT transmission was. Now the 8HP70, or any of the 8HPs, they're not DCTs, they're just a slosh box. So it's a transmission that doesn't have gear selectors and stuff. There's planetaries, and it uses regular trans fluid, and there's a converter. The difference is that the converters in these are lockup, and it uses the clutches inside the transmission as a pickup, go, and a takeoff and release. So basically, it's almost as if you're driving a manual, just without the clutch pedal, which you can actually put a clutch pedal in and have an electronic clutch. So you can have a clutch pedal that's being driven by a lever that reads voltage and will send to the TCU and say, all right, under this voltage, we're going to remove this much pressure from the solenoids, which will release the clutch, and then as you're releasing the pedal, it will slowly add pressure to the clutches as if you're using a clutch pedal. So these gearboxes are extremely useful in so many different applications. People are using them for drifting. You can clutch kick them. They're just so quick and efficient. The power delivery feels like it is a manual transmission. It is amazing. Now, if you guys are brand new here and you haven't watched some of the previous videos, I've got tons of videos on the build. And I've been driving with this gearbox for a little over a month now. I've had it done. It didn't take me very long to do it. I think it took me 2 weeks to get the whole swap done. But as I've had it now, a little over a month driving it, I have never had this much fun in the car. Like, the car makes a ton of power. We're on the Precision 6766. I did pull boost back, but whenever I do have it turned up, and we are in the certain boost area, which is 6th, 7th, and 8th gear, the car's probably making 900 horsepower. I don't want to feel like I'm always going to have to be using that kind of power at all times. And so right now we're just cruising. And I can enjoy myself and have a nice conversation with my neighbor. If I want to have a drink, I can be holding a drink. I can carry a freaking slushie. The car will do what it needs to do. Like right now, we're in P2, and I'm just cruising down to the stop sign. You can hear it automatically downshifting for me. It's so efficient. 8 gears keeps you in the power band. Incredibly nice. Like, at all times, you have maximum power. There is no lag when you're shifting. There is no power fall off when you're moving. It's just insane. All right, we've done some cruising now. So now we're in P6. This is the full manual mode, and there is a safety that it will auto shift. And you can get all the fun that you want going into manual mode, because it's some of the most fun that you'll ever have. And so you can do this with the shifter too. I find it more enjoyable to use the paddles. It makes me feel safe. It's so fast. Like, it's so fast. It is so crazy. And the gear shift, because I've dialed in the ignition cuts, it's insane. It is absolutely bonkers. And I've got so many people that are saying, oh my god, that's lame. It takes no skill. But when your car makes this much power and you have to actually drive it, because if you don't and you just assume that it takes no skill, you're going to end up in a ditch. The efficiency of the gear changes when you start spinning. If it shifts, you keep spinning. When it shifts, it's basically a clutch dump. So when you're spinning and it shifts as fast as it does, it clutch dumps into the next gear. And you spin more. And when you're spinning more, you're spinning so fast that you clutch dump into the next gear because it shifts. And now you're literally wheel spinning twice or more than twice as fast as the car speed. So all that wheel speed's got to go somewhere, and it always kicks the car. So you always have to be ready for it. So for the people that have not experienced this kind of gearbox in a rear-wheel drive car with this kind of power, you gotta hold your tongue, because you literally don't know. You have zero idea what you're talking about. And this is some of the most incredible things. Just back there when we did that pull, I had to throttle it. Otherwise it was gonna wheel spin. And we pulled boost out of it. That wasn't anything. That was probably at 700 wheel. Gotta get some new spark plugs and stuff. As far as cons goes, I think one of my biggest things is I don't entirely know exactly how the gearbox is functioning. Like, in my head with a manual transmission, when I'm doing stuff, I can envision in my head, oh yeah, the slider is moving the selector into the next gear. And I know what's happening. I can see it happening in my mind. But with this gearbox, I can't. I have no idea what's happening. So if there's anything that weird happens, I'm not going to have any idea how to make it. I don't know how to like envision what an issue could possibly be if such an issue arises. So I'm going to have to rely on potentially a rebuild video, or somebody who's had a similar experience to tell me, hey, this is what happened and that's why it's doing that. Fortunately, these gearboxes are so strong that I don't have to worry about something weird happening. They are so stout. People are putting 1,000 horsepower through them, bone stock. Which, by the way, stock transmission and stock converter out of a 2020 Dodge Scat Pack. So it's not the Hellcat, it's just a Scat Pack. So here we are. We're still in manual mode, and this is the safe manual mode. This is the Sport Plus version, which is also fully customizable. If you forget to downshift while you're in this mode, it'll downshift for you. P7 mode is a full drag mode, so that one will not downshift for you. It's full manual, so if you want that experience, you have that experience, and you have a shifter. So the people that say you're not even driving your car, it's not even true. Like, you're literally operating everything. So there we go. We came to a full stop with no shifting. It downshifted and everything for you. This thing is so stupid. It is so stupid fast. It is insane. It blows my mind. Now here we go. Quick change of topic here. We'll go into this gear shift here. We'll shift for you. Incredible. It is single-handedly the greatest gearbox I have ever used. And like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, like I've experienced so many different things. Just recently I went and did this extreme experience thing, and I went and drove like a brand new Ferrari 488. It made like 680 foot-pounds of torque or something. It was like something crazy. And when I drove it, I raced it on a track, so I got to experience the car on a racetrack. I have it on I have the video on the channel. The way the car drives, the way the car steers. Obviously, this car doesn't have as big of brakes, it doesn't have as big of tires, but the steering is identical. The electric steering feels just like the Ferrari. The power delivery feels like the Ferrari. The responsiveness of the gear changes feel like that Ferrari. If anybody's ever been like me, you go and you're like, I'm afraid to drive this car because if I get in this car, it's so nice. When I go home and I go to get in my other car, it's gonna feel not fun. It's gonna feel like, oh, I'm ruined because my car's just crap and I hate it so much compared to a 2025 Ferrari 488. I figured, I almost assumed that that's what was going to happen, and I had finished this car right before I went and drove that. When I got in it, and I felt the steering wheel, because I bought this steering wheel because I wanted to feel very modern. And when I grabbed the steering wheel in that Ferrari, I was like, wow, this feels like my 240. And as soon as I started driving it, I put it in gear, I went to accelerate, and I started to like gradually just pick up speed. I was like, wow, the pickup feels just like my 240. It feels like the 8 HP. And the instructor wouldn't let me do gear changes and stuff like that. They wanted to keep it in auto mode just to protect the cars because it was a big event for a lot of young kids, 16 and stuff, that could go and drive these cars real sporty like. I understand. But the way the car would deliver power, and then when it would shift and deliver more power, this 8 HP feels identical to the way that DCT felt. Incredible. It blew my mind when I got out of it and I got home. All I wanted to do was get home and just hop in this car and drive it because of how similar this thing felt to a brand new car, a supercar. This thing felt so close to a supercar, it was just mind-blowing. And it was all because the electric steering, for one, which is something really big on my list that I wanted to do because I didn't want to put hydraulic fluid and stuff back in the car. But the transmission, this is the single greatest thing I have ever done in my life. It is just absolutely incredible. One of the most mind-blowing things I have ever done. And you guys are with me right now. You guys are experiencing it. We're talking and we're just cruising. And it does not feel like you don't have this really heavy clutch. Like I've got a Tilt 246 dual ceramic race clutch in the 300ZX. And it's a chore to drive the car. It's very streetable, but it's a really big chore. In my Evo, I had a triple quartermaster. That thing was the most mind-numbing to drive. You had to rev the thing up as high as you possibly could in order to get going, and if you release the clutch even just a hair too fast, it would just kill the car. It was just too much. But in this, it's just, I can have all the fun I want. And if I want a clutch pedal, I can put a clutch pedal in it. I have zero desire to put a clutch pedal in it, but you might be different. You might want a clutch pedal, but the option is there. You can have a clutch pedal. There's so many different things you can do with this. I have autocross this car. The gearbox works great for autocross. You can road race them, although people say just getting a DCT would be much better. Another thing right now, we've been cruising for a while, doing rips and everything. The trans temp's only at 50 Celsius. That's a really good temp. And my fan, my radiator, my cooler for the trans is in the back. It's literally on top of my exhaust. And it's staying that cool. The swap is incredible. I'll make another video going over everything you guys need to get everything I have. And we'll go over a budget breakdown and stuff. I'm trying to think of some other cons for you. I think another con is like the bell housing is a little bit large, and if you're worried about having to massage your stuff to make it fit, it's not that bad. It's just really at the opening. To make the gearbox fit itself, you're going to have to shave around on the actual gearbox section. There's a lot of stuff poking out that fits in the newer cars, but the older cars were designed with small gearboxes, so you have to shave it, make it all smooth and stuff to get it to fit. It's a rather large gearbox, but it's not that bad. Very, very easy swap. I did make my own mount, and it saved me $2,000. There we go, coming to a stop, downshifting all on its own. There's 8 gears. I had somebody recently tell me in one of my comment sections, they said, 8 gears seems like a lot. You just seen it right there. It goes so quickly. The more gears you have, the faster your car is. You're staying in your power band. It doesn't give a chance to drop off torque, and that's why the new Mustangs are so fast with their 10 speeds. This is just, it's incredible. Like, hands down, the greatest transmission. Like, I will never put a different gearbox in this car. If I break it, I'm gonna go buy another one. The fact that it's so cheap also, if you're not getting a BMW style transmission, because the BMW ones are more sought after because of the smaller bell housing, it makes it to where you don't have to massage your trans tunnel more. But the Scat Pack, I paid $600 for this transmission. It's probably stolen. There's so many part outs for Dodge Scat Packs and Challengers and everything, but they are that cheap, and they're very attainable. You can literally find one anywhere. Like, you go on a marketplace, it's on there. I promise you. And I mean, it's just as straightforward as it is. I got all the videos for you guys to watch. Yeah, dude, I mean, it's half the time I don't even have words just how incredible this is. Like, this is my favorite thing I have ever done. And I've been neglecting the Z. I just haven't really had a desire to drive it. I need to go drive it. I love driving it. This is just more fun in every single way. This gearbox paired with a tiny turbo, incredible. The 6766 isn't small by any means, but man, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. Ever since I got to make this car streetable again, this is the greatest the car has ever felt. There's no reason for there to be. The torque reduction table hasn't been achieved, which is a table in the TCU that's saying, hey, you need to pull power back, which it sends signal to the ECU, tells the ECU pull some timing out to pull the torque down, so that way the gear changes can be achieved reliably. Otherwise, there's some slippage and stuff, and that's what wears out your clutch packs. With the gear ignition cut, when it cuts ignition, it's a full torque reduction, and it allows the gears to change and be instantaneous. It allows it to where the command time is very reduced. It's almost instant. It's like a DCT, and that's why it sounds like that. Yeah, see right there, guys. That was 6th gear. That was 6th gear, and we were doing the speed limit, and the car started to kick out. Like, if you are one of those people that assume that it's literally takes no skill, you will crash your car. You will 100% crash your car. If you think that you can just floor it and get away with that, you're crashing your car. The power delivery is incredible. Like, this car is 100% going to need traction control. At that point, I think it will probably be the most efficient it can probably be. Like, my goal is to get it to where I can full throttle and shift and everything, and we just haven't got there yet. The car's tons of fun. It's amazing. It's a little bit chilly out. The roads are cold, and the tires are just not going to have the rubbery compound like they would in the dead of summer. But regardless, I mean, it's still fast. If you know how to pedal the car and stuff, I mean, you're winning. I'm trying to keep this video as interesting as possible, trying to talk the whole time. Hopefully you guys are following along through the entire thing, and hopefully my charisma will get you guys to subscribe to the channel and just stick around and and maybe to learn some stuff. We do all sorts of stuff here. Obviously, I'm learning the turbodynamics so we can tune the transmission. I tune all the cars on our channel, so all the ECU tuning and everything you're seeing here, this is all tuned by me. Everything that we do is 100% built by us. I built this engine in the garage. Everything that we do is done by us. A lot of the fabrication even. So I mean, there's tons of stuff you guys can gain from watching the channel. Get some laughs. We got some comic relief. I mean, hopefully I can get you guys to stick around. I've been really enjoying a lot of the blowing up the channel has been getting because of the 8 HP, and I know it's because of the 8 HP, but hopefully I can get you guys, like I said, stick around for my charisma and other Sean. If you guys, my name is Sean, and the other guy on the channel is also Sean. So we do a lot of 2JZ stuff around here, 256 stuff, and now we've got the 8 HP. Well, this was going to be a pretty long video. I'm going to try to do this completely uncut. Just hopefully you guys will, just follow along with the whole thing. If you guys made it this far, I very much appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that my charisma will get you guys to stay. Make sure you hit the like button for me, please. It'll get the video out to some other people, and hopefully grow the channel up some more. We've been gaining quite the following lately, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you all so much for 14,000 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the 8 HP stuff. I'm very much enjoying it. And yeah, stick around, watch some of my older videos, and stay tuned for some of the new ones. But yeah, guys, hope you guys freaking enjoyed it. Remember, hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys later.